Hey folks, how's it going, and welcome back to the channel and for my review of Dementium the Ward for the Nintendo Switch. Now this is quite the surprise release indeed when the game's dev, Jules Watcham, sorry if I'm butchering your name Jules, announced a couple of weeks ago that this was coming to the Switch. The hype for me was real when this first came out back in 2007, and I've still got my original American copy that I pre-ordered all those years ago. And man oh man, what an absolute showcase for what the DS could actually achieve. These guys really knew how to push that hardware, and it's still so hell of impressive even today. But what about the Switch version? Does it still hold up after all these years? Let's find out. In Dementium the Ward, you play as an unnamed protagonist who suddenly awakens in this massive hospital complex, with no explanation of how you got there and all weird manner of things going on. You start off with absolutely nothing, but will soon find the trusty flashlight, which will be a godsend in this dark, creepy environment. And you'll soon be amassing an array of different weapons, which you're definitely going to need exploring this creepy establishment. With all the messed up things, it has lying in wait. The game now offers a dual analog control scheme, which they originally incorporated into the 2013 3DS remaster of this game. And while it worked just fine for camera control, just basic looking around, when it came to that precise aiming, it wasn't exactly the best. Here on the Switch, however, they feel great, fast, responsive and fluid, and you've got a whole host of controller options to suit whatever type you like best, as well as aim speed, which can be adjusted as well. And speaking of that 2013 3DS remaster, this port here really does seem to be the basis of that version. So while the graphics do look a good bit sharper, thanks to the bump in resolution up to 1080p well docked, don't expect a massive difference to the graphics from that version. Although for me it's still a very aesthetically pleasing game. It really reminds me of the early horror games from the PS1, and the game also now runs at 60 frames per second, which really helps with the fluidity. But is the game still scary? You better believe it is. It's got some great atmosphere with some really haunting music, especially the nursery ward. You really don't know what's lurking in the darkness in this game, and enemies can come out of nowhere. And this is where it really gives me Doom 3 vibes, with the constant switching between the flashlight and your weapon of choice, which is done really fluidly here with the press of the Y button to switch from your flashlight to your previously last used weapon, and just press down on the D-pad to switch right back to the flashlight. And the tension can really ramp up when your health's low, as your heartbeat gets louder and louder. Thankfully health and ammo is quite plentiful even while playing in hard mode, but you cannot keep a stash of health. You can only pick it up and use it where it lies when you need it. So no quick healing on the fly when the going gets tough. Some of the game's maze-like corridors can feel a little confusing and maybe a tad repetitive at times, but it is broken up by introducing some pretty cool, large outside areas, which connect to different sections of the hospital. as well as introducing some pretty cool but simple puzzles that I'm sure you Resident Evil veterans will appreciate. The game also has a decent map feature which you'll be using quite a bit, although some routes can be blocked by debris which doesn't show up on the map. And what about boss battles, you say? Well, this game features some really awesome ones. Over the span of its 16 chapters, which although ain't that long, your first playthrough will probably clock in about the 5 to 6 hour mark, the game doesn't overstay its welcome. And let me tell you folks, I've really been enjoying my time with this often forgotten horror gem again, and I can highly recommend it to fans of old school horror games like your Silent Hills, your Doom 3s, or if you're just a horror fan in general, then definitely give this one a consideration. And with all that said folks, I really want to thank you all for watching. If you liked the review, please hit the thumbs up button, consider subscribing to the channel and checking out some of my other vids, and we will catch you on the next one.